Welcome back, baseball fans. We are doing another elimination video for the Oakland A's. What you're looking at here is the stats from last year when they lost in the American League Championship Series to the Orioles. Vida Blue was 13-4 with an ERA just above 3.13 with a 106 WHIP, 135 innings. Clearly was the anchor. Catfish Hunter 7-5. Clearly the number 2 dog on that team. 3.60 team ERA, very respectable. Offensively, Reggie dominated, 11.33 with a 3.47 average. Some 80s players contributed. Campaneris had 9 home runs with that 70 card that hit 22. 9 homers in only 49 games. Gene Tennis, 14 homers and 37 RBI. A predictor of what would happen this year. So it was a really good year for the A's last year, falling just short against Oakland. However, now we look at what happened this past year. 28-26. It didn't get to the League Championship Series. Vida Blue statistically ERA was better, but look at the win-loss record. He goes from 13-4 to 7-9. That'll pretty much explain everything. He just was bad luck for Vida Blue this year. Catfish Hunter was an all-star, faded down the stretch, but he lowered his ERA by a run. Fingers was a capable closer as far as saves go, but none of the rest of the pitching staff did a thing this year. And you'll notice the team ERA is 60 points higher. And the average is lower. Let's start with Reggie. He was at the top before. Now he's down near the bottom. 236. He dropped 100 points on the average. That explains a lot. It's hard. I mean, you can't have these guys in year-long slumps, Vida Blue and Reggie Jackson, and attempt to do the same thing. One guy who did the same thing was Tennis. He won the MVP with a 289, 17, 42 line with 44 walks and a 415 on base. Campaneris, again, 8 more homers with that card, so he would have been on pace for a 20 to 30 homer full season. Plus the 27 stolen bases would lead the league. Bando did a decent year, but it's just kind of a waste. We've done a lot of this, and we've seen it to be very much of a waste. So let's take a look here. Pull out the 69 guys. As the dynasty never really got started, and we got to pull out the old 69 guys, and there's going to be some very popular players here that we will find a new year to get in. We still have plenty of time to get that dynasty started. Again, it doesn't happen until 72. So these are the 8 players, I should say, that are, as I drop a card on the floor here, the 8 players who are gone from 69, and there are some big names in there, but not a lot of big names. And these are your 12 returners, the 12 guys coming back, and they're going to bring back mostly pitchers and 6 hitters. We're going to bring back 5 hitters and 7 pitchers. So, they're going to have to redo the offense. But, there's some golden players here. And let's just start with the top 2. So, I mentioned before, Gene Tennis. This is the 70 card. We have it 1 more year next year. Just won the MVP. Devastating card. But it was because it was a small sample size. You see the small sample size there. And that's why it looks so good. He would never do this offensively again, but he would be a better catcher and could play first. Follow that up with Joe Rudy. Now Rudy, same kind of situation. He'll never do this again. He will become a better fielder, of course, but he hit 309 with this card in 70. Just an incredible card. So it's going to be a shame to only use those cards for 1 more year. Now you have John Donaldson is a kind of a platoon middle infield reserve guy coming back. This J.L. Liu card is actually pretty nice. Defense isn't too bad, no power. But Jay was really more of a pinch hitter in the National League. Again, that's a lot of plate appearances. But eventually, for the Stros, he just goes on to be a pinch hitter. So you don't see the power here. And so that's going to limit the A's somewhat in getting a devastating offense going. Now, in center field, Manguel's good against lefties, not so much against righties. And that's all the hitting. Which means that all the pitching comes back except for one guy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I must have dropped one more card. Oh, we did. My bad. Good news. For Campaneris. He was the third guy to come back. He fell on the ground. He almost abandoned the ship there. So Campaneris is 70. I remember I said he had 8 and 9 homers in 40-game seasons. He had 22. 279 year. This is an incredible year. He would never do this again. Plus, he's still a Double-A stealer. So now you've got enough of these 6 hitters to go. Wow, that's, you bring back Reggie, Sal Bando, and maybe get a good DH. You should be able to improve from last year. Pitching now. So Blue Hunter and Torres are the top 3 guys. They all went on the rotation. Torres could allegedly be trade bait if needed. You've got this Danny Combs guy was in long relief, but he wouldn't be a bad number 4 starter, second lefty. He would 188 innings for the Padres, the 330 ERA. That's pretty good. So starter or relief, we love Locker. Righty gets lefties out and fingers, and they hire the Oakland guys too, from 71 and 71. So it's looking pretty good generally, mostly because we know pretty much we have one answer, and that's that Reggie Jackson and Sal Bando are coming back. That will make this team a World Series contender again. So let's see what happens to Oakland's 69 guys. All right, so let's take a look at the 69 A's. I thought I would bring up this era, the Dynasty era, and show you something interesting here. So in 69, we had career years out of Reggie Jackson. Bando had a great year as well. And they had 88 wins, 89 wins. They finished in second place behind the Twins, who are really good. They had 101 wins in 71. Couldn't go to the World Series. They lost 3 straight to the Orioles. And then in their World Series run, they didn't even win 95 games. They only played 600 ball once. Won 3 straight World Series titles. If you add up the wins during the 3-year dynasty, it's 277 wins. If you add up the wins in 69 through 71, it's 278 wins. So you see, that's why I've been, beating the drum on win this thing now, and don't expect this team to start rolling people, because we've got some incredible 69 performances that are gone. We have 3 incredible 70 performances by Campaneris, Rudy, and Tennis. And in 71, it's Vida Blue's incredible performance. So let's take advantage of this if you're Oakland. Let's take a look at the 69 stack here. And the first guy will be Bando. So he will be a keeper. Let's see which year we pick. So, do a little scouting here. Might as well determine it. So, he's got MVP votes here and here. Basically not 72, right? That's the only eliminator. Don't pick 72. So he's a keeper. No reason to decide now which year we're going to pick, but in the notes I'll say it's not going to be 72. It'll help me in the future. All right, next up, Jim French, a nice little on-base machine guy from the Senators, 65 to 71, and well, lifetime average of 196, lifetime on base of 328. Interesting guy. 121 walks and 78 strikeouts. He must have been reading up on Gene Tennis, trying to do a mirror of that. So the 69 card is what we used. Yeah, we had a 184, 348 on base, and He qualifies for waivers in 70. So we don't have to commit to him. We'll put him on waivers, but if there's one team that he'll be closest to, it's probably Oakland. Next up is Dick Green. And we know he will get some rings. He'll get some nice rings for this Oakland team. The spark plug of this team. The batting average gets kind of bad in 74 at 213. But that year's not even up for grabs here. We're looking at these 4 years. So we have the 69 year of 275 and a 779 OPS, 35 MVP votes. He kind of, you know, it's a real shame. I don't think they made his card in 72. Obviously, he was hurt. We could see if they made his card in 72. That would be kind of fun. By going to Gary's resource page, superds.tripod.com/somrosters.html. And let's see if in the 72 A's they made they had Tim Cullen at second base and Ted Kubiak, of course. But did they make Dick Green's card? They did. They made Dick Green's card. So that's going to be a fun card to look at. I'm just wondering what it looks like. 286, 348 on base. I mean, it's kind of funny because you could roll that card for 3 years and get way more than 42 at-bats out of it. But look at the batting average. This is something. This will be a really interesting twist for Oakland. If they're able to take advantage of the 4-year carryover league to get Dick Green's batting average over 280 for 3 consecutive years instead of the 190, 244, or 262 card. I'm gonna, again, this is kind of fun research to be doing now. He's gonna be a keeper. And I'm going to put 72 exclamation points saying, let's take a look at this card, because that could be a win-win for Oakland. It's a way of recapturing the magic of the dynasty idea. All right, next player, Chuck Harrison, a guy they picked up from the Kansas City Royals. He was on their 69 expansion team. So Chuck, he was with the Astros. He doesn't qualify for waivers, and you may as well retire him. He can come out of retirement if that 71 card exists. Again, he's a corner first baseman with bad offense. It's not a recipe. So we need a retiree, so let's retire Chuck Harrison. All right, 4 more guys to go. 2 hitters and 2 pitchers. We got Reggie. This is going to be fun. You're going to enjoy this. Reggie Jackson. So, commented at long all over about what a year 69 was. Magnificent year. Last year, he tore it up. This year, he slumped with the identical card. This card. Look at this card. Led the league in OPS and slugging, strikeouts, runs scored, 47 dingers, only behind Harmon Killebrew. 5 at MVP votes. Okay, the card's gone. No sense crying over it. But guess what, folks? In the 4-year carryover league, boom, 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 and 4. And boom. And that's what we can do with Reggie. We can immediately cash in his 1973 MVP card, run it back 4 times. Now we're starting to think about dynasty. Now we're talking about it. This is how a team like Oakland, between Dick Green, Bando, and Reggie, that might be enough to get us right back where we were. Now, his average is better. On base and slugging are obviously a little worse when you hit 47 homers. You're not going to do that again. He only walked 76 times. But again, he's a 1 MVP. It's a no-brainer. Reggie Jackson. And what's cool about it is that I'm going to put the 73 in my note here, is that this is all different years. We're saying we want 73 Reggie, we want 72 Green, and we don't want 72 Bando. So all of that can happen. This is how you build a carryover league team. You kind of look at all 4 years. So this is kind of working out now. Let's take a look at Jose Tartable, the next player. He never really put it all together for Oakland. Was a Kansas City Athletic, and then a Red Sox, and then he went to Oakland. He was good in the middle 60s there for the KCAs in 65, but not in only a limited number of plate appearances. Never played a full season, and his career will end. So he retire Jose Tartable. All right, we need a keeper and a waiver, and we're complete. Next guy is Jim Nash. Now, he actually has only a brief connection to Oakland, if that. You see him with the Kansas City A's here. He does go to Oakland in 68 and 69. Then he's out of town. So, his 70 card, this is so tough here. So he qualifies for waivers. He's a 13-game winner in 70, but his ERA is 4.07, his WHIP's $1.41. Most teams wouldn't mind that. Expansion teams wouldn't mind that, just to have a guy who can pitch on 3 days rest. But if you're Oakland and you got Blue, Hunter, and Torres, and this Danny Combs guy could go on the rotation, I don't think that's good enough for this team, for a dynasty team. You know, Nash in 69, the ERA drops 40 points, and the WHIP drops 20. So I'm going to actually not make him a keeper. I'm going to put him on waivers. And he was an Atlanta Brave in 1970. Maybe the Braves pick him up. He's going to be in the league. Don't worry about that. He will be picked up. He will be in the league. But the Oakland A's are more picky. And the last guy is Gerald Nyman. Jerry Nyman. There's Jer. And he was with the White Sox and Padres, and he is over with. He's done. Well, we got that 69 card in the league with a 5.29 ERA because he's left-handed. Heck, but just 5 innings in 1970. Obviously, they're not going to print that card. So Nyman is retired. So the A's have a move to make. They need to get a keeper. And looking at this, with Bando, Reggie, and Dick Green coming back, with Tennis and Rudy and Campaneris, it's looking pretty good. Fingers is coming back, Locker's coming back. So, it's a good report for the Oakland A's. They can run this thing back next year and be in the same boat for... but after that, don't forget, next year we're going to lose those great Gene Tennis, Joe Rudy, and Campaneris cards. So next year is going to be the best Oakland year, I can say definitively, because those 3 stars will never be that good again. That's it today for the Oakland A elimination video. Hope you're enjoying these eliminations of teams. We'll see you next time.